Okay, so we start today by talking about the variable name scope. We all know about variable, what is variables. We are not talking now about object-oriented at all. We're just talking about variable. We forgot to mention what is the scope of the variable. So what is the scope of the variable? We all know that our programming in Java is a set of blocks. So you have a block, for example, for if statement, for a loop. The scope of the variable is just where this variable could be visible. Visible means accessible. I can access this variable by printing it, by changing its value, by updating it. I can see it. So I have two different situations. The first is if I have, for example, here's I'm inside the main function. I'm not inside any like for statement block or anything. If I declare a variable like this one, username, add my program not inside a certain block, a certain keyword block like for or f or switch or anything. If this is the case, this user number could be used anywhere at this program, either inside a block like this or outside a block like this. But the opposite is not correct. So if I have a variable like val squared, this one, I declared this one inside the fourth block. So it's inside the for block here. So the scope of this one is only the block of 4 because I declared here. Okay, so if I tried here, for example, to use it outside the block where I declared, I will have an error. So I can't do that. So this is as simple as that. If I have a variable, if I declare a variable inside a certain block, so this variable will be limited to this block. I cannot use it outside of this block. And opposite, if I declare a variable anywhere inside my program, I can use it either inside a block or outside a block. Okay, so let's go and try to do a quick like application or a practical for that one. For example, if I have integer I like this one, and here I said for I equal 0, like a for loop, simple one, I less than 5 and I plus plus, and I have the block of 4. Inside the block of 4 I just will print out the index of the loop, which is the I, sorry, the I, here's my semicolon. So I'm okay. If I run that, I should have values of I inside the loop, which is starting with 0 up to 4, 0, 1, 2, up to 4. And if I want to access this I outside the loop, so here, for example, I will say I'm outside the loop. Okay, so I'm now outside the loop. Can I access I here, which is declared somewhere inside my program, inside the loop here and outside the loop here? If I run that, simply yes, and its value is 5 because 5 would get me out of the loop. This is the value of I that will get me out from the loop. I can access it here, outside the loop and inside the loop, as long as it's declared. So the scope of I is the whole program because I declared inside the program. But, or here is the main function. If, for example, I said integer I here, like this, so now this is different. If I just, for the beginning, remove this one and start to run, no problem, I will have from 0 up to 4. But be aware that this I declared inside the loop, even if it's in the header of the loop, it's still inside the loop. So if I try to access this variable outside the loop, as you see, this is an error here. So I cannot do that because I'm outside the loop. Here, the compiler don't know what's I. Here, I is not accessible here. So simply, that's the case of this variable scope. So if you declare a variable anywhere inside your program, you can use this variable either at anywhere inside this main function, either inside a block or outside a block. But if you declared a variable inside a block, it's only accessible inside its block. If you try to access it outside the block, you will get an error. Okay, so this is what I call variable scope. This is very Easy.